On a chilly morning in late October 2024, in the quiet suburb of Willow Creek, Oregon, I woke to the rumble of a heavy engine outside my house. Red and blue lights danced across my bedroom walls, slicing through the pre-dawn gray. No sirens, just the eerie calm of something serious unfolding. I peeked through the blinds and froze. A black SWAT truck sat in my driveway. Officers with rifles moving silently, methodically. My 10-year-old daughter, Emily, was asleep down the hall, blissfully unaware. My heart pounded as I ran through a mental checklist. Unpaid bills? None. I'm a tax consultant. My books are clean. Legal troubles? I've never even jaywalked. Then a voice boomed through a loudspeaker, sharp and commanding. James Carter, this is the police. Your house is surrounded. Come out with your hands up. Now. My mind raced. Emily didn't need to wake up to this nightmare. I threw on jeans and a faded green t-shirt, skipping shoes to look as harmless as possible. As I descended the stairs, the flashing lights painted eerie patterns on the hardwood. I thought of Linda Hayes, the Homeowners Association president who'd been writing me for months about my unsightly garden gnomes. She'd stood on her porch yesterday, glaring as I worked a rented trencher to install a new sprinkler linear project fully compliant with the HOA's labyrinthine rules. Her disapproval was a silent storm, but this was something else. I stepped onto the porch, hands raised high, the cold air biting my bare feet. Rifles snapped toward me, red laser dots jittering on my chest. Walk slowly. Keep your hands visible. An officer barked. I complied, stepping onto the dewy grass, each blade a shock against my skin. Two officers moved in, swift and professional, cuffing my wrists with tight plastic ties. What's this about? I asked, keeping my voice steady. The lead officer, face etched with fatigue, replied, We got a call. Man with a gun, digging trenches, acting unstable. Said you might be holding a kid hostage. My stomach dropped. Linda. It had to be her. The only thing I've got is a trencher in the backyard, I said. I'm installing sprinklers. No guns. My daughter's asleep upstairs. 10. Please, be quiet. The officer held my gaze, searching for deception. Finding none, he radioed, Clear the house. A team swept inside, their calls of clear, echoing as they checked rooms. Emily slept through it, thank God. They found nothing but a sleeping girl and a landscaping tool. The officer uncuffed me, nodding toward Linda's house, where a light glowed behind closed blinds. File a records request for the 911 call and dispatch log, he murmured, handing me a card with a case number scrawled in marker. You'll want that. Across the street, a blind snapped shut. Emily's night light glowed steady in her window, a beacon in the chaos. I stood on my porch as the SWAT truck rumbled away, tire tracks gouging my lawn. The sky blushed pink, but the hollow in my gut wasn't beauty, it was betrayal. Linda had weaponized the police against me. I called my brother, Matt, at 6:15 a.m. He answered on the first ring, his voice calm but urgent. James, what's wrong? I told him everything, my hands trembling not with fear, but with cold, quiet rage. Matt arrived at 7:45 in his understated gray sedan, the kind of car that screams preparedness with its first aid kit and fire extinguisher tucked inside. He's my younger brother, but he's always been the shield to my sword. He walked in with a black backpack, gave me a quick hug, and asked, Emily okay? I nodded. She slept through it. I told her it was a false alarm down the street. Matt approved with a nod. We sat at the kitchen table, coffee brewing, and I laid out the story. The trencher, Linda's glares, the SWAT raid, her 911 lies about a rifle and a hostage. Matt listened, sipping black coffee, his eyes calculating. She crossed a line, he said finally. This isn't about gnomes anymore. She endangered you and Emily. We're not fighting back with fists, we're rebuilding a case. Evidence wins. Matt unzipped his backpack, revealing not weapons but tools. A camera, audio recorder, evidence bags, a tiny GPS unit. He handed me a notebook. Log everything, times, dates, her movements. Be boring. Be precise. Next, he pulled out a thumb-sized camera. Birdhouse cam. Motion activated, Wi-Fi enabled. We'll mount it in the maple tree to watch your yard and the street. We installed it, blending it with the foliage. Then Matt had me photograph my water and electric meters to establish a baseline, suspecting Linda might escalate. We called 811 to mark utility lines, making our sprinkler project look official. Every step was deliberate, documented, a fortress of facts. That night, at 11:42 p.m., a faint squeak pierced the Silence Me side gate, the one Emily and I painted blue 2 summers ago. I froze in my dark living room, phone in hand, and texted Matt, "Gate." His reply was instant. "Cameras live. Stay put. Witness, don't engage." I opened the Birdhouse Cam app. A grainy night vision feed showed a hooded figure with bolt cutters, nervous, glancing around. My pulse hammered as he snapped the gate steel latch and slipped into my side yard, out of view. I switched to an old indoor camera by the back door. A shadow appeared, testing the locked knob, peering inside. He pulled a handgun from his waistband, not aiming, just holding it. My breath caught. Emily's room was 10 feet away. The figure scanned the yard with a flashlight, spotlighting the trencher, then froze as my motion sensor's red light flashed with a soft beep. He bolted, stumbling through the gate. 3 minutes, start to finish. Matt arrived in 15 minutes, moving like a ghost to the backyard. His flashlight caught a leatherwork glove on the grass. With gloved hands, he bagged it. Near the trencher, a clean boot print. He poured a plaster cast, whispering, "Got it." We called the non-emergency police line, reporting the trespass, the cut latch, and the footage. An officer would come in the morning. At dawn, Matt and I dug near a suspiciously wet patch in my yard, marked by 811's colored flags. 2 feet down, we found it. An illegal blue T-pipe siphoning water from my line toward Linda's property. My meter had spiked 600 gallons overnight. No faucets ran. This was theft, deliberate and calculated. The city water department arrived at 10:30 a.m. A grizzled tech, Tom, whistled at the T-pipe. "Bold move, right off your meter. Felony theft, no permit." We explained the dispute without mentioning the SWAT call, sticking to facts. Tom proposed a tracer dye test. I signed the form, and he poured bright green dye into my line. When Linda, summoned by a patrol officer, turned on her hose, neon green water gushed onto her driveway, a glaring confession. Neighbors' curtains twitched, phones recorded. Linda's face, framed in her doorway, flashed panic before her usual mask returned. She screamed, blaming me, but Tom just documented the scene. His partner pulled meter logs. My usage spiked nightly for 18 months. Linda's irrigation bills were impossibly low. A plumbing van in her driveway. Hayes and Sons linked to her cousin, Mark Hayes. The pieces fit. The intruder, the boot print, the pipe. Then it got personal. That afternoon, at Emily's school pickup, Linda appeared in a stark gray suit, her eyes blazing. She marched toward us as Emily hugged me, chattering about her science project. "James Carter." Linda's voice was venom. "Stop this pathetic campaign against me." Emily shrank behind me, trembling. I said, "Linda, not here." She lunged, grabbing Emily's wrist, hissing, "Tell your dad to stop." Emily cried out, and something primal surged in me. But Matt's words held me back. "Evidence, not muscle." I said, icy calm, "Let go of my daughter." A teacher, Mr. Larson, intervened, his hand on Linda's shoulder. "Ma'am, release the child." Parents recorded. Linda shoved Emily's arm away, storming off. The school nurse photographed red marks on Emily's wrist, later bruising into a clear handprint. Our doctor documented it too. The school preserved CCTV footage. Over 3 days, Matt and I built an airtight case. The 911 audio of Linda's lies, urging police to shoot if they resist, water theft photos and reports, trespass footage, and boot print matching marks. Emily's assault documented by nurse, doctor, and teacher. At the HOA meeting, I presented it all via projector. Linda's smugness crumbled as her voice filled the room, followed by images of SWAT tracks, the illegal pipe, the green water, the intruder, and Emily's bruised wrist. The room erupted. Neighbors voted unanimously to oust Linda. New sunlight, bylaws ensured transparency. We handed our evidence to a detective, who called it comprehensive. The DA charged Linda and Mark with false reporting, theft, trespassing, and assault. They took a plea, fines, community service, a record. Willow Creek healed. A community garden bloomed where Linda's sterile shrubs once stood. Emily and I planted orange tulips over the trench, her small hands steady in the dirt. "It's prettier now, Daddy," she said. I nodded, squeezing her hand. Weed one not with rage, but with relentless proof. What would you do if a neighbor weaponized the system against you? Should HOA power be limited to prevent abuse? Or is oversight enough? Was our response too calculated, or was it the only way to fight a bully? Share your thoughts, hit that like button, and subscribe for more stories that dig into the truth.